Voila! To the Amanda Notanda Show. I'm Amanda and thank you guys for watching. I am so super excited about today's episode because joining me today is the talented comic writer and filmmaker here in Edmonton. Please help me welcome Brandon Rhiness. Thank you so much, Brandon, for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing to have you here finally because you're always busy. always busy. But it's such an honor to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
Brandon here is the founder of Higher Universe, a movie. You're founder, right? The founder of it?
Yes,
right.
co-founder.
Co-founder.
Yeah.
All right, co-founder. I kind of had a bit of it correct.
Yeah.
All right, co-founder of Higher Universe, a movie and comic book company. He has written a ton of comic books, guys. I have been to his place and this is nothing. Sorry, this is like nothing. There's a lot, a ton of comic books which I've gotten the opportunity to read and loved one of them, which we're going to talk about today. And it was such an honor to just get an opportunity just to read one of your books. And it was like, oh, because some people, they're like, you're gonna have to buy it first before you can just read it, right? And it was such a good read, and congratulations to all your books that you've been writing.
Thanks.
So when did you start writing and how did you discover your passion for writing?
I've been writing as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even back, I remember when I first learned how to write, like I remember I was probably like kindergarten maybe or something. I used to write these Star Wars stories.
Wow.
And I remember my goal used to be to finish one page of writing.
Right.
And it was, probably like huge letters, the whole page was probably like 4 sentences, but I remember I'd run out of story before I got to the end of the page. But then one day I finally wrote an entire page of story, and I was like so proud of myself that I'd written one page. And I was, I ran to the kitchen where my parents were cooking, and I was like, oh, I finished the page, and that was a big milestone in my writing career.
Right.
But basically what it all comes down to, I've told the story before, and it's just like thinking back, it's such a great memory. When I was in grade 4, I had this dream that I got kidnapped, and I had to escape from these kidnappers.
Wow.
So the next day I wrote the dream down. I remember in English class I had I was on my desk and I had my book. When you put the textbook up to kind of hide what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I was pretending I was working, but I was actually writing down the story.
Right.
And I finally, I finished it throughout the day, and I think it was like 4 pages long.
Oh, wow.
And the next day at school, I asked my English teacher, "Can I read the story to the class?"
Yeah.
And she let me. And so I remember I read it, and when it was done, the whole classroom just burst out in applause. Wow. And I was kind of like, whoa.
Whoa, right?
And then at recess, everyone, I was kind of, famous for,
wow.
For the rest of the day, and everyone was congratulating me and telling me that I should write a sequel, and it was kind of at that moment that I was like, oh, people seem to like the stuff that I write, so I just kept doing it.
Okay, so was it more of writing or more of drawing when it comes to comics?
All writing. I can't.
All writing. Okay. Well, oh, really?
Yeah, I hire all my artists. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just about to say, okay, so now who does the covers and everything? So your artists you have.
Yeah, I hire artists all around the world. We have quite a big team from the United States and Spain and Poland and Philippines, kind of all over the place. Personal draw it in one country, another personal color in a different country, and then my buddy Chris in Texas will put the word balloons on there.
Yeah. And
then we get them, usually some of them printed through Amazon, some of them printed through a company in Florida, and then they'll ship them here, or we'll send them to whoever buys them, and so we got quite a little operation going.
That is so awesome. That is, wow. Different.
Yeah.
It's actually my first time because I've never really had to sit down with somebody to tell me the process, like how it is or whatever, because you see some people just doing their own small projects and whatever, and you think, oh, it's just a small team, but that's huge, like working with people internationally. That is so awesome. So when you started like this whole writing and presenting it to the class and everything, did you end up telling your parents, this is what I want to do, or how did they support you?
Oh, they've always been supportive.
Wow.
And I've always, it's kind of funny, I mean, that was, a long time ago now, but I never really took it seriously. It was always a hobby.
Right, it always starts as a hobby.
And I made some short films kind of in college. I went to NAIT and they didn't have the film program when I went, but I took the radio and TV, and I did, I used to be a videographer, and I'd make, some short films on the side. I just never really tried hard. It was just kind of something to, just to do for fun. And it wasn't until about, say, 4 years ago, I got laid off from my job, and I was like, well, maybe I could. And at that point, I'd started to sell a few scripts, and I was like, I wonder if I could not have to get another job and just do this full time. But I'd have to write a lot and work hard. And my plan was, I'll do it a month at a time. It's like, if I run out of money, I'll get a job. And so I just, did a month at a time and just started writing as much as I could. And next thing you know, I'm selling a ton of scripts, and now it's been, 2-3 years, and it's like, I haven't needed a job.
But then that's the thing. I think you only need that one thing that's gonna push you to reach your greatest potential, right? And that being said, everyone's like, oh yeah, I need to get a degree that's gonna stabilize my finances, and then I will chase this. But then time is moving, right? And then sometimes, like you had no choice. You got laid off. Right? That wasn't your choice, but then it pushed you to becoming what it is that you want.
Like I could have got another job, and when I save up enough money, but people always say that, or when the kids move away to college, but time goes by quick, and the next thing you know, it's like, you're kind of running out of time.
Right.
So it just came to that moment where it's like, is this gonna be something I dream of doing, or is this gonna be something I actually do? And it was a huge risk. It still is. Like it's hard,
it is.
And
it's either somebody buys it or don't. Or like takes your script, or they don't. Or somebody helps you, or they don't.
And it's the hardest thing. Like it's such a hard industry, right? Because there's so many people writing scripts, and to be able, not only to be able to sell one, but to be able to sell them constantly enough that I can always pay the bills. And I mean, when I'm not living in LA, like, I don't make $1 million a script. It's hard being an Edmonton writer, and I have to sell it in volume, basically.
You'll do good. I believe that. I believe you'll do good, because with your material, the material that I've seen, like your work at home, I was like, wow. Okay, that is like a lot, right? And that actually showed me that you actually do it full time, and you're actually serious about it, right? And eventually, I believe it will eventually pay off. Come what may. Even right now, I'm just in Edmonton. It only takes that one person to say, you know what? I'm going with Brandon. Here's $1 million for you, or 10 million, 100 million. I don't know. One day, right? That is so awesome. So, what inspired you to start writing comic books? For that matter, like comic books is specific.
Specifically, I remember it was back in elementary school. I never I knew Superman and Batman. I knew like the big characters, but I was never into comics. And I remember it was like in the early '90s they had the Marvel comic book cards. And I remember it was like science class or something. I remember we were sitting at these long tables, supposed to be working, and the two boys next to me were like looking under the table at these cards, and I was like, what are you guys doing? So they showed me, and I was like,
paying attention?
So they showed me, and it's like, these are cards. There's like Iron Man, and there's, and I was like, and just something went off. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. So I went, I spent all my, paper route money or whatever on buying these cards, and that kind of just got me into comic books that lasted, like basically till now. And there came the time, me and the co-founder of Higher Universe, Adam, he draws, and we kind of come up with these characters and make up these stories. But and just after a while, like in the last few years, it came to the point where I was like, instead of just talking about this, like let's do it. So I just wrote the script, and then we just kind of searched all over the internet for the kind of the best artists we could find. Hired them, they drew the comic, and then we just the first ones, it took so long to finish them because we were still learning how to do it. And then once we finished one, then we just started replicating the process, doing it faster, adding more titles, finding different people to be on the team. And it's opened so many doors for me. The comics, I started doing that, and then it kind of led into writing the scripts, and that led into filmmaking. But kind of one helps the other, and
obviously, and you have to be diverse sometimes, right? Instead of just sticking to just one genre or one thing, right? Wow, that is so amazing. So, what type of comic books do you write? We all know Marvel.
Yeah.
Is it DC Legends?
Yeah.
Or what
DC. Yeah.
DC, right?
Yeah.
So what type of comic books do you write?
I know a bit of everything. Like you got Chainsaw Reindeer there. It's more kind of like horror. You got Ghoul Squad's kind of comedy.
Okay.
I do like a space adventure, some superhero stuff. I kind of try to do a whole bunch of different ones. You know,
Right.
The Boy with the Balloon for a Head is one of my personal favorites and it's probably my most popular one. And that's kind of a drama, I guess. So yeah, I do every genre I can imagine. You know, you have so much more freedom with the comics because you're not held back so much by a budget. Like you can draw spaceships and whatever you want, and it's not going to cost you any more than anything else.
Yeah.
So you can just have more fun with the ideas and do kind of things on a bigger scale.
Damn. Okay. I feel so inspired right now. Okay, that's the reason why I brought you here, to inspire everybody else, right? So how many, I know you have a ton of comic books that you've written, but how many in specific a number have you written? Not just comic books, actually, everything that you've written so far.
Oh, comics, I think I have like 25 comics I've
That's
written.
a lot though.
Yeah, but those are ones that have actually been published. Like that's not just writing, that's things that actually exist in print where you can buy them.
Yeah.
As far as scripts, like dozens. Like it's
Wow.
yeah, I think I have. Yeah. You can check my IMDB page.
There we go. That's what I want to hear. Check his IMDB page. Yes, IMDB page, and I'll put all the details normally.
Yeah.
I want you to put all the details here, and we'll put all the details down here so people can follow you and see what it is that you're doing. So why those type of comic books that you write? Like, okay, it's a little bit of everything. Do you have superhero comic books as well?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have like Misfits as a superhero comic.
Okay.
Basically, anything that comes to mind, I can do. I just like having the ability of just coming up with an idea, and I have the ability to I can write it down. I can make it happen.
Yeah.
And within a certain amount of time, I can have a physical copy that I can start selling and bring money in to cover the costs of doing more of them, and promote them, and most things I write, not everyone likes them, but they all have their fans, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just nice to get the occasional email from someone that's saying they read it and they liked it and
they
everything.
liked it. Yeah, the same way I like you're the reason mommy drinks. Yeah, exactly. This book. Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And congratulations, by the way, on the publishing of this book with a British. Yeah. It's a British, right? It's a British publishing company, right? It was so amazing. I was like, I need to look them up because I saw on your Facebook. I was like, whoa, okay, they're published by another publisher. What does that mean, right? For some people, what does it mean to get published by some other publisher if you already have your own publishing company?
Basically, it means that instead of me having to sell it myself, they take care of it, and I get like a royalty on each one sold. So, and it's kind of nice just to have someone else. Doesn't mean they probably get thousands of submissions, right? And for them just to pick that and be like, I think we can make money at that. We're going to sign that deal. So that's kind of cool. I'm technically a published author now. Like most of my comics are self-published.
Right,
which is still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice to have a third party.
It is cool too, right? I was like, wow, that is so amazing. Then I had to look it up. I was like, oh, okay, so what's Olympic Publishing? Where are they from? Where are they based? You know what I mean? Like just doing a whole lot of research just to get to know more about other industries as well, like other publishing companies and stuff like that. That is so good. So what led you to want to have your own book published? I mean, your own book published by them and not within the American-based publishers?
Basically, when it came out, they're I don't know if they're only ones, but they were like the best choice that gave me the offer. Like I pitched it to like probably 20 or so different publishers, and some of them like their deals were it didn't seem like it was that great. Some of them just never responded and ignored me.
Right.
Some of them just weren't interested, but these guys said they liked it. And I think the first guy that emailed me back, he's like, I'm still in tears after laughing from reading this.
But that's what I'm saying. Even when I was reading the last time, I was like, oh my god, this is so funny, right? Wow, that is so nice.
Yeah, and it was a learning experience too. Like just the process from when I signed the deal with them to when the book was released was probably a year. Like it was just so much. We had to go through and make all these changes. I did, there's just a lot more to it than I thought. I thought they could just take my PDF file and make the book. We had to go do all the stuff. There was I had to sign off on all these things, and they had to redesign certain things, and there was a lot more to it than I was expecting.
Wow, that is so amazing. Obviously, there are times when you're thinking, I think this is all I need, and before you know it, once you get into it, you're like, whoa, this is like a little bit too much on on the too much bit than what I was expecting, but it's still good all the same.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's still good all the same.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your love for filmmaking now. Man, you're always busy. I was saying that you're always busy. You're always filming. And I actually felt so humbled when you responded. You're like, oh yeah, that's awesome. I can come. I was like, oh wow, okay. At least you can actually at least make a bit of time, to just come and talk about what you do and just to share it to the whole world, and which is so amazing. So how do you do that? How do you bring together people and think, okay, let's make a film, let's bring together people in Edmonton, or do you also bring people in Calgary, Lethbridge, all over Alberta, or how do you put it together?
Well, for Hot Box, which was the feature-length film we just finished in November.
Yeah,
We're in post-production
congratulations
now.
to
Thank
that
you.
one. I saw, yeah.
Yeah, we had a few people from Calgary came up. It's mostly Edmonton-based. I mean,
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
where
it's easier.
it's where I live, so
Yeah.
it's, kind of support the community, and it's just easier for people to come. But yeah, we had people from Calgary, Danielle's from St. Paul, so we have, they come from around, but I just love that, like screenwriting, I love screenwriting, it's kind of my main thing, but that's still basically just me by myself at a computer.
Yeah.
The whole filmmaking process is like, I just love being able to just kind of announce, hey, I have this project, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And get a few people to help, and next thing you know, like we had probably 100 people work on Hotbox. Like
I
just
bet.
like everyone came together, and all of a sudden, it's this kind of big event, and we have all these people in this house, and everyone's having a great time, and it went so well that of course, just hey, I got a new one. You want to do that again?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, there's people flocking to the next project, and
Right.
and it kind of just leads to, well, why not keep doing it? Like we have all these people, like talented
Why
people.
not? Yeah.
So may as well let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one.
Oh yeah. And you end up getting addicted to it, right?
Yeah.
The whole process.
Yeah, even I remember after Hotbox was done, because I spent so much. It's always hard to raise money, and I ended up putting a lot of my own money into the projects. And after Hotbox, I told everyone, okay, we're not doing anything until the next feature, One Night Drunk, in May.
Wow.
And but then we ended up shooting another short the other day, and then I got hired. We're doing another short in March.
Oh wow.
And then there's another feature called Grotesque, a horror movie that we're probably starting in April or so. So next thing you know, it's like, okay, well,
guys, you're going to get all the social platforms where you can find Brandon and you can follow everything that he's saying. Like, he's really doing a good job. You're really doing a good job here in Edmonton. Yeah. Every time I watch it, I'm like, wow. I feel so inspired, because at the moment I'm actually working on this project, the talk show, right? But then it's just one of those, like, okay, I need to get back to filming. I need to get back to film, but this is my baby at the same time, right? But then, I'm like, okay, how does he do it? Come and sit down and talk to us and tell people like how other people will also be trying to get into the film industry, which is not easy. Like you said, you need a whole lot of people. You need the crew on its own and the cast on its own, right?
And it's just a matter of, once you start doing stuff and you can make it like decent quality, people will come in and work with you. People want to be part of that. It's and it's just being inspiring, I guess. Like I'm always excited about everything I do.
Yeah.
And like it just started like a few years ago. I just started writing short scripts. I had to give the first few away for free, just to to whoever, people in North America making their first short film, just so I could say like, hey, I've had 4 short films made in the last few months, and it makes it look like I'm in demand. And after a while, I started selling them, just like a little bit at first, and then higher and higher amounts, and then it became enough to like pay my rent, and then I started writing features, and then. I would even do them for hire, starting off like absolutely dirt cheap. But then started selling more, and then I could raise my prices, and now I'm constantly writing scripts for other people and doing my own. And then just started making a few short films and just bringing people together and making something good, and then doing it again, and kind of figuring out who the best people are to work with, and kind of bringing them on the team, so I have more of a core team. And then once you get that ball rolling, it's hard to stop. And like you say, it becomes addicting. It's like, that was so much fun. I want to do that again.
Right?
So it's just
the same people too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I just want to work with the same people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And everyone has such a great time, and it benefits them too, right? If they're an actor, they get to act. They
do what they love as well.
Yeah. So I just like, it's like almost like I can't stop. It's just like I want to do something else. Even now, I'm trying to think like, should I do another project, or should I just do work on my writing?
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, you can always do it all. You can always do it all.
I somehow find time to do everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll neglect my writing for a few months, and then I'll be doing too much filmmaking. And
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of like, okay, I'm writing I'm just writing like a ton of scripts, and I even just sold one 2 days ago. I sold another one.
Wow.
So I'll kind of catch up on that, write some new stuff, and then it's like, okay, then I'll go back to the filmmaking for a bit. And,
okay. So when you say you sell you sell your scripts, do you sell to like local producers, or who do you sell to?
Sometimes local, but usually like, I mean, we have the internet, you have access to the whole world. So
Okay, yeah.
The one I just sold a couple days ago was a short film called My Friend Dorothy, and I sold it to a producer in LA who's done a bunch of short films, but he liked it and paid me for
it, we'll be hearing Oscar nominations.
Yeah.
Brandon, just right. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. That's gonna happen, and I know it's gonna happen. You're doing good. That's what I'm saying. Like you know what? Like everything that you're doing is just like it's so amazing. It's too much, breathtaking. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just too much, because not a lot of people find the time to even sit down and say, okay, I am putting my thoughts on paper, right? It's one of those, okay, I'm gonna do this, because we're living in a digital world where everybody's just on social media, not doing much about their purpose, right? And if you're a writer, it's one of those, okay, I think I'll write it down whenever I get a moment, but when you decide to just go with it, right? Which is such a good thing. How do you put together like the budgets for all of your films now that you're doing it full time, right? And most of them are they self-funded, crowd-funded, government-funded, sponsored?
A little bit of everything. We've never actually had any government grants yet. We started applying for them. Hopefully we'll get some of that money. But usually it was, me and whoever I'm kind of co-producing with, we'll put money in. We did like crowdfunding for Hotbox. We had Alex Gallant, who's a kind of local filmmaker. He had a bunch of pipes made, like glass pipes with the Hotbox logo on them. So we would sell those, put that money towards the film. I'll sell my comics, put that money towards it. We'll give away copies of the script and other perks on Indiegogo and get some money from there. And now, like with Hotbox, we've been having people like just donate money, like after they some of them came to the set and just to watch, and they saw like how amazing and big it was,
and how serious you were.
And now all of a sudden people are coming to me and just like, oh, can we meet, because I want to donate some money to the project. And so it's like, okay. And so now that we have those people on the teams, we're kind of like, okay, well, for the next one, can we just double the budget and do it for something even bigger? So we're kind of constantly setting our sights higher, and hopefully we can pull it off.
Perfect. So where can we buy your comic books? And where can we watch your movies, short films, feature, everything like that?
The comics, they're on all the major platforms like Comixology, like for digital. Most of them are available on Amazon. If you just Google the titles, you can find them. My website is thehigheruniverse.com. There's links on there to buy them. If you want, I always keep some on me at my house, because people always like autograph copies. So if you want to just contact me directly, I can sign one and mail it to you or whatever. As for the films, my YouTube channel is I think it's just Higher Universe.
I follow that.
Yeah, so if you go there, all the films are on there, and a lot of interesting content.
Right, that is so amazing. So what advice would you give to those who would like to get into the film industry, and how to get a production together?
That's kind of a big question, but like I tell people all the time, if I can do it, you can do it.
Thank you.
Even like 4 or 5 years ago, I was just, I kind of did it a little bit on the side, dabbled, but it just seemed like a dream. And I remember I listened to podcasts about how to like sell scripts and just like dream of being those people. And then one of the podcasts that first inspired me, I was on that show a few months ago.
Wow.
And it's kind of like, I used to be one of the listeners of the show, wondering how I could be here, and now I'm one of the people that's actually selling scripts. And it's like, so there's nothing really particularly special about me. I wasn't born rich. Like I don't have any like advantage that anyone else.
You are actually born rich with that talent. If anything, you were born rich with that talent, because everybody has a talent. That's what I believe, right? It doesn't have to be the film industry. It doesn't have to be writing or anything. Just if you figure out what it is that you're good at, it can be doing hair. It can be just making furniture. You know what I mean? And just find how you can just go out there and do it. It's only a matter of Nike. Just do it. Right?
And that's what it came down to. This one day I was like, okay, I've had enough of wanting to do it. I'm just gonna do it. And I just try to write more than most other people. I write a lot. And, other people complain about writer's block or this and that. They don't have time. And it's like, okay, well, I just sit down and I just write 10 pages solidly every day.
Wow.
And next thing you know, holy cow, I have like all these scripts written, and you can't help writing that much. You're gonna get better at it all the time.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it didn't take very long to get to the point where it was good enough that
Yeah.
it's worth money, and people would pay me to, to write the script. And like, anyone else could do that if writing's your thing. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I know most.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's a matter of like, I guess, kind of being a good leader and being an inspiring person and
Yeah.
being easy to get along with,
Yeah.
being a good team
Uh-huh.
player and
Yeah.
bringing people together and my first short films were really, really bad. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone does
That's the whole thing. Humble beginnings, when you look back and you're like, oh, where I started, and where you are right now.
But if if you hire good people, like just your key crew positions, like they know what they're doing, so you can rely on them to make sure the product is good, have good actors, and then you keep doing it, and then you'll get practice. And even a couple of years ago, like I was only directing, just kind of, I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I kind of did just to test it out, and it was kind of like, eventually I just want to hire my own directors. I didn't want to do it.
Right.
And I kept doing it, and now it's like, I kind of like it. It's like, I think I'm going to keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Oh,
Some of my scripts I'll sell to someone else, and they can go off and make it. But some of them, it's like, this one's for me. This one I'm just going to direct myself. So.
Wow, that is so great, and thank you so much for sharing all those tips and just to be here and follow Brandon. You just heard it you heard it for yourselves. I don't even need to be saying follow him. Like it's a given, you know what I mean? But all the details are just down below here. And so before we leave, thank you so much for for the simple questions.
Yeah.
So not so hard, right?
Not so hard.
Got it. There you go. That's why I love not giving people questions. I'm like, I am asking you what you already know.
Yeah.
It's what you already know, right? But before we leave, now we're just gonna have to turn the tables.
Okay.
And just play a little game, and it has nothing to do with what you do or
Okay.
what you've done, but it's just general, basic knowledge. What you think. It's all up to it's your own opinion. What you think. No right or wrong answer.
Okay.
All right. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
So now I am going to be taking out this. Okay, I was just about to say tiny balls, but it kind of sounds wrong. Alright, but it doesn't matter. Alright, so I am going to ask you to pick. You might pick something that's in your industry, because I kind of put something that's in your industry. But then you might pick something that is crazy out of this world, but I can tell you that it's not me.
Okay.
I wrote that. So you can just finish a statement or answer a question.
Okay.
Best way you can. Let's see this.
What do you know for sure?
For sure. What do you know? For sure.
What do I know for sure? That this is a very hard question to answer.
Okay, wow, that is different. Me, I'm thinking, okay, you're probably gonna say something that is so off of that question, but okay, that's difficult. Okay, that you can't even answer it. For sure.
Yeah, I know that for sure.
Wow, okay, that is awesome though. That is different. Right. Okay, you can pick another one. Yeah, 3. You're gonna have to pick 3. Yeah,
right.
Just 3.
I fart in public or private?
No, that's not me.
Let's say private.
Okay, now question. No. Okay, so this one has a question. The reason why I put this, why would you do it in private? Let's start with that. Because I believe in private too. But I have met people who say, oh, it's part of breathing. So
I try to be as classy as I possibly can.
Okay, alright. And unless maybe I'm the only one that finds it disgusting to do it in public, per se, if anything. I don't know. Do you?
I tend to agree.
Right? Yeah, because I said, let's not get into detail, but yeah, the reason why I put that question is because I've always argued with some people who do it in public. But anyway. Alright, so that's the weird one. That is the weirdest, just so you know. Yeah.
Teach us a game from your childhood. Oh, good lord.
God. For somebody who was so creative, somebody who used to watch people drawing, and somebody, who's creative.
So putting me on the spot. I cannot think of one.
You can't think of one. You can pick another one so you can decide.
Okay.
Do you want to do that one or you can pick another one?
Pick another one.
Right? Because sometimes you can't think of a game right on the spot, right?
Yeah.
Especially like if you're
or
not
nothing that
especially if you're not prepared for it. Yeah.
I believe in
Yeah.
blank.
There we go.
I believe in. I'll change it to I believe that
Okay.
hard work pays off. Is it kind of general?
It is actually a fact.
Yeah.
Because you see how we live in a digital world, we live in a world where social media is one of those, oh yeah, I want to do something that's going to go viral.
Yeah.
That's not hard work, right? Because the way you go up is the way you come down. If you go up real quick, you'll come down real quick. That's what I believe.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Right? So if hard work pays off, it'll stay there for quite a long time because you've gone through the process. You know, like how hard it is to get there, and you know that I am not going to waste this opportunity because it took me this long to get there. But then what's your reasoning to say hard work paid off?
Because it's kind of, people always ask me, like almost every day, people are messaging me kind of like, oh, I have this idea for a movie, how do I make it happen? It's kind of like, well, it's like if you're having to just ask that, you're not there yet. It's like once you put in that work, it's like if you have a good idea for a movie, you're gonna write it down. You're gonna somehow find a way. Yeah. And most people don't. The vast majority of people will just think about it. And one day I want to do this. And when people come to me to make my movie, then I'll do it. But it's like no, it's got to come from you.
Right.
You have to write it down. You have to write the script. You have to rewrite it till it's good enough. And you have to write multiple scripts till you're a good enough writer that someone's going to want to make your project.
Right.
And it's just once you put in that hard work and just to see how many scripts I've written over the years and worked hard to get to where I am. Yeah. And it's just kind of like, and it's finally paying off. And it's like, you got to put in that work. And it's if you're trying to just skip that and you just want to you want to make movies, you want to be in movies, and you don't want to put in the practice or learn the craft. And it's like, well, like it's probably not even worth doing.
Yeah, exactly. Or even worth thinking about.
It's like, that phrase, like, writers write. If you want to be a writer, you're going to have to write, like, a whole ton of stuff every day and get good. Yeah. And I'm always putting that work into it. I'm good enough, I guess, that, I can sell things, but I still know I have a long way to go. And try and, even stuff, like, from a year ago, I read it, and it's like, like, I'm way better than that now. Like, I've learned. So I hope it keeps going like that, so I'm kind of a little bit better with every passing script. Wow,
that is so amazing. You heard it for yourselves, guys. Hard work pays off. So no sleeping and thinking, it's going to happen overnight, or when I wake up tomorrow, I am just going to do a video that's going to go viral, and then what? Yeah. Right? And then what after tomorrow? And it is so amazing. Thank you so much, Brandon, for coming, and for congratulations for the comics and the ones that you've published internationally.
Thank you.
And with the new publisher. And I look forward to more of your work and film and seeing you at the Oscars and the Grammys and stuff like that. But anyway, thank you so much, people, to the viewers. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everything. For the comments, for the love and the likes. In my culture, they see my love and my likes. Right, but keep watching. If you haven't subscribed and you like what you see here, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And if you have any comments or any suggestions, you can leave on the comments section below. But I will definitely put Brandon's information so you can follow his work, his craft, and everything that he's doing here in Edmonton. So thank you so much, and thank you for coming, Brandon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That is so awesome. And remember, little girls with dreams become women of vision. Take care, and God bless you. Bye.